Hey everybody out there, this is Kevin O'Connell. In episode 4, I give about a 10-minute talk on effort and consistency, and I throw in the last thing that you need to do to have a really good brand is execution. So, effort, consistency, and execution, and I also talk about Casey Neistat, who's doing all three of these things. If you have not heard of Casey Neistat, I would highly recommend checking out his vlog on YouTube. He's literally been vlogging for about 100 days straight, but you'll hear me talk about that in this upcoming episode. So, hope you guys are all doing well. I'm gonna jump in to episode 4 here for the Niche Movement Podcast. Thanks a lot for listening. Before we get into it, I just wanna go back off of episode 3 where I talked about having a plan A versus plan B. It takes a lot of work to get to where you wanna be and to be completely fulfilled and happy. But I can tell you that when you kind of start to reach that pinnacle and that plateau where you see your success paying off and you start to feel happy and invincible and that every day comes very easy to you, it's so worth it. So I can share with you firsthand that is very worth it. But in order to get to that stage, what I really want to talk about from both an entrepreneurship side as well as a social media side is effort and consistency. If we look at these two words and what it really means from the entrepreneurship as well as the social media side, these two words really have a lot of meaning in the front of my head right now, especially in the last 3 or 4 weeks of putting the work in to get this book done, to now actually having a consistent social media content calendar and schedule and continually being out there. But the one person I would highly recommend that you check out that is living this, and it's just amazing to watch, is Casey Neistat. He is a 34-year-old filmmaker / entrepreneur in New York City. He literally came from nothing and has built a brand for himself, both a personal brand as well as a digital advertising agency. Now he's launching his another startup here that's going to be a tech startup. But Casey Neistat literally, he had a kid when he was 17 years old in high school, went from being a dishwasher to then picking up a video camera and really getting into it, to then being featured on HBO, to then being hired years and years later by companies like Nike, Mercedes-Benz, because he created this YouTube channel. And he went off and on creating these digital shorts and these behind the scene vlogs of who he was, which went pretty viral, and that's what kind of got his name for himself. But what's really fascinating is as of mid-July here, he has literally posted a vlog episode for 100+ days straight. No breaks, no whining, no posting late. He literally, every morning you wake up by about 7, 8, 9 a.m., he has a new vlog on his YouTube channel. But the amazing thing is it's not just typical, let me hold my camera out in front of me and tell you about my day. He has put together pretty much 7 to 10 minute videos that are so well done with time lapses and creative points of view, and people from all walks of life, including his family, his coworkers, to the people he meets on the street, his fans, and it's amazing to watch because he's literally hustling. He's doing everything that I just talked about in episode 3, because he's waking up at 5, 6 in the morning, he's working out, he's going to the office, he's doing all this, he's still has his camera and vlogging and finding the times to do this. He's working a full day, launching his startup, and then coming home, spending time with his family, and then I literally think it's, he said, if you watch it, he's literally editing his videos at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Sometimes, when he's out on the West Coast, he's doing it there, and he's jet lagged. But when he comes back to New York City, he's doing it right when he puts his newborn baby to sleep and hanging out with his wife. He's literally editing, and he's somehow making it work. But the amazing thing is 100 vlogs straight. He's at probably 105 by the time this podcast episode comes out. But I'm just blown away because the effort has brought the consistency and brought the fan base. And so by him putting in the effort, he's now consistent, and everybody now expects a vlog from him day in and day out. But if you watch the peak and the growth of his YouTube followers and his subscribers, they literally have tripled, and his fan base is just growing exponentially. And it all comes around to it's twofold. One, he's really good at it. The second thing is he's into what he's doing and he has a story to tell. But if you look at it from a marketing side, is he's growing this fan base and growing this buzz, and he's, in essence, what I talk about in my book is building a network before you need it, right? We all know now he has this new tech startup launching any minute, and he's now built this fan base where I guarantee, I even looked at his Twitter feed. He announced his company, I think on episode 102 or 3, and his Twitter account had 18,000 followers within 4 hours. So by him putting the effort and being consistent, he's already now building this fan base to help his own company. And I can tell you firsthand that when I did this last summer, and there was no intention of this, to be honest, I started just blogging one day in June because I've been putting off for 3 or 4 months that I had all these people that inspired me. I just wanted to write about them. I wanted to share what they meant to me. I wanted to share their story and why they're so important to what they do in their roles and their, in my life and their life. But day 15 in last summer, I realized, holy shit, I was putting the effort. I was blogging in the morning before work, blogging at night and editing, posting, and I was being consistent. I was showing up every single day. And I can't tell you, for anybody that's trying to build a follower base or trying to build an audience that you want to like connect with and listen to, you have to be consistent. Even me doing this podcast, I wish I could do it every day, but doing a podcast at least 2 days a week and saying, hey, it's going to come every Tuesday and Friday, at least people are going to start to expect it. And it's going to show some consistency. But when I started blogging last summer about every day for 30 days straight, I literally saw, not only in the analytics side, but I saw it from the people that were talking about it. And when I launched the Kickstarter campaign, it was a no-brainer. People automatically wanted to share it. They knew I was onto something. They were already reading what I had to say. And so when you look at this from the social media standpoint, and I tie this back into some of the clients that I'm working with, we literally can look, for a 30-day period with one of the clients I've been just working with, that we went from, I think, having about 15 tweets on their Twitter account to then over 105 tweets. 60 to 70% of them were at replies where we were talking to other people, recognizing their, our gratitude towards them and the brand association they had, all the way to curating content, sharing original content. We just grew their Twitter impressions and their link clicks and all this stuff. The analytics side I'm not into, but the gut side of me tells me we built their brand in 30 days by just showing up and just listening and just talking. And it goes back to the analogy of, when you open a door and you want to let people know that you're there, they're more apt to talk to you. And so when you start talking to people, they're going to talk to you back. And, from the marketing side, I know that there's so many brands, Fortune 500, small businesses that just don't get it. They just push and talk and throw their own agenda out there. They're not consistent. So many of the small businesses right now that we're looking at trying to work with, unfortunately, they post once every week, once every month, and they think that's good enough. Or if they put out something on Twitter, they think that's it. They don't realize that Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, they're all different and they're all seeking attention. And so one thing I want you to realize is if you're building an audience, it's the effort and consistency in showing up day in and day out and finding ways to connect with them on a deeper level, providing really solid content. Listen, one of the things I would highly recommend, especially if you're a student organization or if you're on a college campus, one of the things we're doing right now is we're putting out 2 blog posts a week, we're putting out 2 podcast episodes a week, and then we're also now starting something where on every Monday and Friday, we're going to be creating a Spotify playlist, a way to start your week and end a week. There's all different ways that you can use your platforms to create different content and add value. That's a big buzzword right now in the social media industry is add value. But those are 6 different ways right now that we're adding value to our audience, because at some point down the road, we may release another book, or we may have that, that right hook where we want to come in and ask to, look at another thing, another service or product that we're doing, or hey, share what we're doing because we want to work with some other clients. So providing the daily and weekly content and value and being there for your audience, I can't tell you how much that will pay off. And the biggest thing is execution. If I had to add one more thing, effort, consistency, and execution, it's just doing it. It's finding the time to do it. And, the reason I love doing what I do with the digital storytelling side, because I realized that some of the brands and organizations and clients that I work with, both big and small, they want to be ahead of the game. They want to have the best brand. They want to have the best account. But at the end of the day, sometimes they get caught up and they don't have the time and to actually execute, to actually get on Twitter, to actually engage. It's tiring, and I can tell you right now, doing this with the niche movement, it is tough. But when you put the effort in, the dividends, you just reap the dividends. And I can't, I talked about this in episode 3, the amount of people that are still talking about our book and what we're doing and spreading the love. Again, I can't thank you all enough. So the 3 things is effort, consistency, and execution. And if I can ever help in any of those areas, the effort, consistency, or even the execution, please don't hesitate to reach out here. And I'd love to find a way to help you guys out, no matter if you're a solopreneur, you're just looking to build your own digital brand, or if you have an organization, regardless of your industry, I'd love to help you out. So that is episode 4. Check back next week for episode 5 when we dive a little bit more into the startup life and to our book and everything else that we have going on. So thank you guys so much and have a great day. Bye.